Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar on the U-SUMP Dashboard. We're very happy to have you here with us. My name is Hannah Peters, and I will be co-hosting today's session together with my colleague Henning Holdinghausen. A bit about me: I've been at Rewacth Consult for 12 years, managing sustainable urban mobility projects, specializing in citizen engagement, policy development, and data-driven analysis. Henning, would you say a few words about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Henning. Pleasure to have you here today. I'm team leader of the innovation team at Rewacth Consult, and I'm with the company since 12 years. And I'm, in my team, we are developing this U-SUMP dashboard. And in parallel to that, we're also developing an exciting second project, which is the U-SUMP Assistant. So really utilizing AI for improving the planning processes.
Great, thank you. Before we start, just a few quick housekeeping points. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat at any time during the webinar. We'll address them in the Q&A session at the end of a brief presentation. And also, just to make you aware, this session is being recorded and it will be made available to you after the webinar. So today's agenda, we will focus on how cities can better monitor and manage their sustainable urban mobility plans using the U-SUMP dashboard. We'll briefly present the tool and walk you through a few main features, but we'd like to devote the majority of our time to your questions and feedback, as this is a tool that is being further developed, and we present this as an opportunity to influence the development of key features. So just to set the context, we hear from the cities we work with that monitoring is often one of the most challenging aspects of U-SUMP implementation. Cities frequently face a lack of clear overview of implementation status and impact. And in addition, responsibilities and information are typically scattered across different departments. Data is not held in one place, but spread across various teams and systems. And as a result, monitoring becomes fragmented and requires significant time and staff resources. A lot of effort goes into collecting and aligning information rather than analyzing it. This also means that cities often struggle to provide timely and consistent information to policymakers and the public, making it harder to clearly communicate progress and impact. So we developed the dashboard to address these issues. The prototype for the U-SUMP dashboard was developed within the Horizon Europe project Upper, based on the needs of 10 project cities across different EU countries, to ensure that it reflects a wide range of local contexts and planning realities. The primary target group is municipalities that want to systematically track the progress of their SUMPs in a structured and comparable way. This tool is being used and further developed together with the participating cities. The testing phase serves both to validate the real-world use cases and to ensure quality assurance, making sure that the tool is practical and relevant for day-to-day use. In terms of functionality, the system focuses on monitoring key indicators and tracking SUMP implementation. This includes both the evaluation of impacts and the progress of implementing specific measures over time. So already now, municipalities are successfully using the U-SUMP dashboard for the monitoring implementation of measures and their impact. This includes cities from Upper, including Leuven, Hanover, and Rome, actively using the dashboard. And we also have several cities external to Upper already using the dashboard, including Frankfurt and Aachen. This tool, as I said, is primarily for city administrations and mobility planners, regional and national authorities, and in some cases, consultants working with cities to support SUMP development and evaluation. Slide. So let's get just into a brief overview of what the dashboard is. The SUMP dashboard is a monitoring and visualization tool designed to support cities in tracking the implementation and progress of their sustainable urban mobility plans. It provides a customizable overview of strategies and plans and relevant city-level indicators at a glance. It also provides easy traceability of the implementation of measures, as it enables all users to track implementation in the tool and to identify the need for action at an early stage. And this sort of transparency also means easy visibility of goal achievement, as key performance indicators can be bundled to make progress visible. So in essence, the U-SUMP Dashboard enables municipalities to maintain an overview with all data in one digital platform that can be quickly set up. This facilitates collaboration because all stakeholders can update information directly in the tool with a very simple, user-friendly interface, which enables more transparency as these visualizations of data can be used to communicate progress. A key strength of the tool is that it's flexible, so cities can adapt it to their own data availability and planning context while still maintaining a common structure. We've seen it used in different ways, for example, to support internal reporting on SUMP implementation monitoring, as a coordination tool between departments, or to support decision-making. So let's just jump over to my browser to look at the tool itself. So here the tool, which is opened via browser. No special software is needed. Here we see the city of Leuven, which is monitoring its work on sustainable mobility with the SUMP dashboard. This is the city overview page, which is the landing page a city sees when they log into the tool. Here you can see the SUMP strategy they've entered here. In the tool, you can enter as many strategies as your city is working with here. Scrolling down here, we see the city level indicators. You can register indicators such as modal split, population, etc. And if you hover over the visualization, you can see more details of the data. By the way, these visualizations are customizable. So for example, colors can be adjusted to match city branding, or format can be selected in the settings. We have a comprehensive user manual that describes these features. But what I want to highlight now is that the dashboard is flexible and can be adapted to different plan structures. For example, depending on whether a city works with strategies, work packages, measures, or other planning categories. Now, let's look at one of the measures. Here we have the SUMP, and underneath we see the measures associated with the strategy. And here we can pick one as an example, and we land on the measure overview page. Here you can log the status of the measure, you see in progress, and see more detailed description of the measure here. If we scroll further down, we can see the indicators associated with this measure, where cities can set themselves targets. So we see here in 2 cases, Leuven has achieved their target already, and in another case, they're about 13% toward reaching their goal. These visualizations are also interactive, so if you hover over them, you can see more data, again, all customized by the city. If we pick one of these indicators and click View Details, we can see more details on the indicator, including a detailed description of the indicator, overview of key metrics, and the visualization, a bigger visualization, which can also be downloaded, for example, to include in a report or presentation. Furthermore, you can also have a look, scrolling down, at the data registered, and stakeholders can directly enter data here. So if we click Add Measurement, for example, you can see the data can be manually entered, but we also have an API so that existing data can be integrated that way. Now let's have a look at the functionality of monitoring measure implementation progress. If we select another measure as an example here from the sidebar, Then we see again the detailed description of the measure. And again, if we scroll down, we see the indicators associated with it. And this time we'll click Action Plans here. And when we scroll down, we can see all the different actions linked to this measure. Users can be assigned tasks to have transparency over responsibilities and deadlines for the actions, and one can set the status to include further details as well. And then we see here in the upper right overview on the side here, the action status distribution, where you can see what percentage of actions are in what phase. These phases are also customizable, so some cities simply have completed or in progress, whereas others have a more nuanced breakdown. Here, Leuven has, well, if I click here as an example, we can see the different statuses they've chosen. They have 6 different categories, but again, a city can choose and enter categories on their own to reflect the different circumstances and phases that therefore may need a variety of terms for tracking. Let's see here. I'm gonna move back to the slides now. This was a brief overview of the dashboard to see some key features and illustrate how it works in practice. After this short introduction to the tool itself, Henning is going to now share some next steps, then we'll get into the discussion.
Yep. Thank you, Hannah. I can see the slide now. Meanwhile, while I'm finalizing and finishing on the slides, you can already use the chat function or the Q&A section, especially now that you might have also technical questions about the tool and how it works. So feel free to already use the chat, or if you want to have it more anonymous, use the Q&A section, and you can already submit your questions or your discussion points. In the meantime, I'm going to say a few words about what is planned next, like Hannah said. Upper is coming to an end by end of this year, and we are further developing the dashboard as part of the Upper. And we are prioritizing and further developing functionalities this year, and we want to do this continuously and in close collaboration with municipalities. So partly these municipalities are from the Upper project, but like Hannah said, also there's a wider group now of cities with whom we are in close touch and with whom we are, validating and prioritizing the further requirements. So this is continuously gathered, prioritized, and implemented. The dashboard can already be used, so it is a version that is in a good state and can already be used and is already being used as part of larger SUMP processes. And we are also already making this tool available within our consulting projects in a flexible and needs-oriented way. However, a commercial and license-based version of the tool would only become available after the Upper lifetime, so that is January 2027. But we are already able to provide the tool and utilize it within our consulting projects, and this is also what you might be interested in. We'll touch later upon that aspect once more, but just to say that it is already available and can already be utilized, and a more license-based version would only become available in January next year. A planned additional functionality that is high on our agenda and which has already been highly prioritized by cities is, for example, this more automated reporting function, so that reports can be more automatically generated for specific target groups like politicians, decision makers, other stakeholders in the city, or also the public and citizens. And this is what we are currently already in the process of further developing. Next slide. Yeah, very concretely, aside from the opportunity to work together in consulting projects and aside from the tool becoming commercially available already in January next year, we want to also look into further collaboration opportunities on EU level, and we will likely pursue this EIT innovation open call opportunity There's a deadline coming up now in January 2026, but there will also be another cutoff date in February 2027. And we will likely go for the deadline in February 2027. And the goal for us is really, together with EIT, to make the SUMP dashboard the go-to solution for SUMP monitoring across Europe. You all have heard about the UMI requirements that go together with the 10T regulations. So something that is essential for all urban nodes in Europe. And we really want to make this SUMP dashboard the go-to solution to enable this tracking of indicators. So the new functionalities we want to develop within an EIT project would be a public dashboard functionality for the external communication. Something we have heard from a lot of cities already, that they would be interested in not only using the dashboard for their internal coordination between staff and between stakeholders, but also something that can be publicly available for citizens to look at. The AI-supported reporting for different target groups is also something we would like to develop within an EIT project. And we would also like to develop and enable actually comparisons and benchmarking based on similarities. And this could be, comparing cities within a wider region so that you can compare, a large city and a small city around it. But it could also be that you want to develop, that you want to compare with similar cities elsewhere in Europe. And what I already mentioned is that we want to support the UMI reporting as well. So these are all functionalities that we would like to look into in an EIT proposal. And the role of cities that we foresee would be this prioritization, the validation of new functionalities, the testing, the feedback, and the improvement. And we would like to involve, as a small group of pilot users, about 5 to 10 cities as part of such a project. And this could be either through a letter of intent that you want to passively be involved in the project, or that you actually become project partners yourself. I'm mentioning this already today because in our follow-up communication, this is also something we would ask you about, whether you would be interested in becoming such a pilot user.
Thank you for your time, attention, and feedback as we approach the end of today's session. This is a newly developed tool, and we are continuing to elaborate on it to meet the needs of cities. We will send around a follow-up email after this webinar with a link to the recording and further information, including what Henning mentioned about next steps. If you're interested in using the dashboard, also practically... I do see a hand up, it was clapping. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. We will send you follow-up information, how you can, if you would like to be an early adopter user or discuss potential features. We're very open to also having a bilateral discussion on this. So we will write to all of you with the resources mentioned, and we look forward to you getting in touch.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.